8. Maria del Carmen Rendon. Viral TikTok footage that circulated in 2021 shows a police officer threatening to smash the window of a woman's SUV in Wake Forest, North Carolina. In the video, the officer can be heard warning 35-year-old Maria del Carmen Rendon to get out of the car and counting down from 5. When he got to 1 and she was still in the vehicle, he shattered the window with his baton and arrested her. Based on the TikTok clip alone, it seemed to many like a classic case of an officer acting needlessly aggressive toward a motorist during a traffic stop. But the Wake Forest Police Department said that the video didn't tell the whole story. According to the agency's version of events, officers first encountered Rendon at the scene of a suspected felony assault between 2 teens. During the investigation, she became uncooperative and fled the scene with the assault suspect and 3 others. While driving, she nearly hit an officer, ran a stop sign, and almost collided with a tractor-trailer. Describing the situation as entirely avoidable, Wake Forest Police Chief Jeff Leonard said that officers were forced to react to Rendon's reckless behavior and her refusal to exit the vehicle. He accused her of endangering the lives of her passengers and other drivers and resisting the police at every turn. Rendon was charged with resisting arrest, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, driving with a revoked license, and careless and reckless driving. 7. Karen Garner. In June of 2020, Walmart employees in Loveland, Colorado saw an elderly woman leave the store without paying for her merchandise. They confronted 73-year-old Karen Garner and found $14 worth of unpaid items in her possession, including a t-shirt, candy, and soda. The workers refused to let the senior citizen pay for the goods and took the items back, then called the police. Garner suffers from dementia and a sensory aphasia, which affects a person's language comprehension. While responding to the call from Walmart, Officer Austin Hopp found her picking wildflowers on the side of the road. In a body cam video of the encounter, Hopp can be heard telling Garner to stop as he approaches her on foot. She looked back at him with a confused expression, then continued to walk while clutching her freshly picked wildflowers. Almost immediately, Hopp grabbed Garner's arms from behind, then took the 80-pound woman to the ground and handcuffed her. Karen cried out with a terrified expression on her face and repeatedly said that she was going home and didn't do anything. Hopp and another officer, Daria Jalali, hog-tied the elderly woman and forced her into a squad car. A bystander questioned their aggressive behavior and was told to go away and that the situation was none of their business. A police station surveillance camera later captured Hopp, Jalali, and Officer Tyler Blackett laughing and fist-bumping each other while reviewing body cam footage of the arrest. Hopp can be heard describing Garner as senile and admitting that he dislocated her shoulder and failed to administer her Miranda rights. All 3 officers resigned when the case fell under public scrutiny. Hopp was sentenced to 5 years in prison for assault after taking a plea deal, and Jalali received a 45-day jail sentence for misconduct and failing to intervene on or report the use of excessive force. Garner was left with lasting physical damage, including limited use of her left arm. Her family sued the city and the officers involved on her behalf for using excessive force and failing to provide medical care, and received a $3 million settlement. 6. Robert Cortez. In a bid to strengthen its relationship with the community, the Los Angeles Police Department sponsored a movie night in Harbor City Park during the summer of 2022. But the event failed to live up to its purpose when footage of officers forcefully arresting a young man went viral on social media. A 19-year-old volunteer named Robert Cortez was setting up chairs for moviegoers when he saw officers detaining his friend on suspicion of having a gun. He started recording the arrest on his phone and was rushed by an officer, who later told the young man's mother that he thought the object in Robert's hand might be a gun. A lengthy struggle ensued as the scene erupted into chaos. Footage captured by Robert's mother, Rochelle Gonzalez, shows the officer and Cortez entangled in a physical struggle before he's ultimately slammed to the ground and taken into custody. During the video, Gonzalez can be heard asking officers why her son was detained. She then pleaded with Robert to calm down and stop resisting the officer, who was attempting to subdue the teen. As the footage shows, Cortez repeatedly asked why he was being detained but received no answer. Although Gonzalez encouraged her son to comply with the police, she and many others disapproved of the officer's reaction to Cortez filming his friend's arrest. No guns were found on the young men, but Robert was charged with resisting arrest. The LAPD launched a use of force investigation. In the meantime, Gonzalez called for better de-escalation training for police officers. 5. Candy Alicon. Small business owner Sophia Romo was about to head home from her adult boutique in Houston one day in 2022 when an employee told her there was a thief in the store. She reviewed surveillance footage and saw a woman stuffing merchandise into her purse. When the employee told Romo that the woman refused to give the items back, she took the situation into her own hands. Romo followed the sticky-fingered shopper onto a public bus, where she filmed herself confronting the suspect. The woman, later identified as Candy Alicon, agreed to pay for the stolen goods when the bus got to her house. In the meantime, Romo went through her purse and found around $600 worth of merchandise, along with the device for removing security tags. She proceeded to follow Alicon on foot and called the police. The video ends with Houston police handcuffing the suspect, who was charged with theft. After posting the footage, Romo said that other business owners reached out to her and said they also had issues with Alicon, who was on probation for a previous theft charge at the time of her arrest. Romo admitted that her unconventional way of addressing the situation was dangerous and that it could have quickly turned bad. But she was fed up with an ongoing theft problem at her store and decided to make an example out of Alicon in hopes of discouraging others from stealing. 4. Randall Worcester. One morning in August of 2022, Crawford County, Arkansas deputies Zach King and Levy White and Mulberry police officer Tel Riddle arrested 27-year-old Randall Worcester for allegedly threatening a convenience store employee. They didn't seem to notice that a bystander was recording them on her phone as they held the man to the ground and brutally beat him. In the 34-second clip, which appeared on social media later that day, one policewoman can be seen slamming Worcester's face into the pavement and punching him in the head multiple times, while another officer kneed him in the side and back. In the meantime, it appears as though Worcester is trying to shield himself from the beatdown. At some point, a woman shouts to the officers to stop beating him and says that he needs his medicine. After noticing that the incident was being captured on camera, an officer orders the person to stop filming and the video ends. The lawmen claim that before the filming began, Worcester body slammed a deputy and bit and spat on them as they tried to take him into custody. They charged him with a slew of crimes including battery, assault, resisting arrest, criminal trespass, criminal mischief, terroristic threatening, and more. But even in cases where a suspect is being non-compliant or dangerous, it's not customary for police to strike someone in the head repeatedly as a way to get them under control. Numerous experts said that the use of force in the video seems excessive, and that the officers don't appear to be using accepted techniques for handcuffing a suspect. Shortly after the disturbing footage emerged, deputies King and White were suspended from their jobs, and Officer Riddle was also put on leave from his position with the Mulberry Police Department. The incident is being investigated by the Arkansas State Police. Worcester bonded out of jail and filed a federal lawsuit against the agencies and individuals involved in the horrifying assault. His lawyers maintain that their client was cooperative with the officers. According to Worcester's version of events, he immediately handed over a small pocket knife when they asked if he had any weapons, and was unarmed when an officer suddenly tried to handcuff him behind his back. The lawsuit alleges that the officer failed to give him a reason for why he was being handcuffed and that nobody administered his Miranda rights. The complaint also criticizes the officers for beating Worcester without first trying to subdue him with pepper spray or with a taser. 3. Angel Guiche. In response to a spike in homicides in 2022, Atlanta police stepped up their patrol of the city's parks. An officer encountered 34-year-old Angel Guiche and another individual at Shady Valley Park during after hours. He attempted to issue citations to the pair for being there past the 11 p.m. closing time. Footage that appeared on social media and sparked widespread outrage shows the officer telling Guiche that she would be arrested if she refused to sign the citation. During the exchange, Guiche asked the officer for his name and badge number, which he provided. The confrontation ended with police forcefully taking the woman into custody after telling her repeatedly to put her hands behind her back. In response to the viral video, the Atlanta Police Department released full body cam footage of the interaction between Guiche and the officer. The agency claimed that Guiche refused to sign the citation, which is considered reasonable cause for arrest, and accused her of needlessly escalating the situation. Angel's lawyer Lee Merritt told local station WGCL that his client did not refuse to sign the citation, but that she simply asked for more information, which the officer refused to provide. Merritt blamed the officer for the situation becoming physical, alleging that he quickly became agitated and resorted to the use of force. Guiche spent the night in jail and was left traumatized by the ordeal, according to Merritt, who's challenging the APD in court with allegations of excessive use of force. The matter is ongoing. 2. Justified force. Hundreds of Purdue students protested in early 2022 when footage of an arrest on the university's campus in Indiana went viral. The video shows an officer on top of a student with his arm near the man's neck, while the suspect repeatedly yells, "You're choking me." A bystander can be heard telling the officer to remove his elbow. The officer was put on leave while authorities investigated the incident. Madison County Prosecutor Rodney J. Cummings oversaw the case and was tasked with deciding whether to criminally charge either party involved in the case. In his findings, he revealed that police reported to the scene after receiving a call about a man refusing to let a woman drive away in her vehicle. Responding officers found the suspect standing outside his girlfriend's vehicle. He told them that his girlfriend was acting crazy, but was found to have her phone and wallet in his possession. The man allegedly refused to comply with repeated orders to step away from the vehicle and resisted the officer's attempt to handcuff him. He continued to fight and was ultimately taken to the ground. According to the report, the girlfriend started recording the viral video after the suspect was restrained, failing to show what led up to the officer's decision to pin the man down. Cummings ruled that the use of force was reasonable, and that the student's claim that he acted in self-defense was unjustified. He acknowledged that there are times when police abuse their power, but said that the incident was not an example of it, and that the public's response to the situation was disappointing. 1. Antoine Sims. Police in Kennesaw, Georgia, responded to an unusual report in August of 2022 when a man called 911 over his dissatisfaction with his McDonald's order. They arrived at the restaurant to find 24-year-old Antoine Sims accusing the manager of serving cold fries, handling food without gloves, and failing to give him a receipt. Prior to the officer's arrival, the argument had erupted into a shouting match. Body cam footage captured an officer's conversation with Sims, who described his fries as lukewarm but not hot. He claimed that the manager got confrontational and told him to leave the property when he requested fresh fries and asked for a receipt for the second time. The manager accused Sims of being aggressive and refusing to leave the property and wanted him removed for trespassing. At the manager's request, the officer issued Sims a criminal trespass notice, which does not come with criminal charges. Just when it seemed like the situation was almost resolved, the police ran the disgruntled customer's ID and discovered a warrant for murder dating back to 2018, something that law enforcement had somehow missed until then, even though Sims had been arrested since the murder and was wearing an ankle monitor. He led the officers on a 20-minute foot chase before being apprehended and taken to the Cobb County Jail, where he awaits the next step in his case. Thanks for watching. Would you rather go viral for acting like an entitled millennial during an arrest that was caught on video, or have your text conversations with your closest friend leaked to the public? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.